It's a beautiful day in Houghton Lake, Michigan, and a beautiful day to spend on the water. Houghton Lake is known for the multitude of species present below its surface, and our plan is to head out and see just how many of them we can catch. John's also got some helpful tips on structure, how to find it, and how to use it to your advantage. This is the largest inland lake in the state of Michigan. And look at that, we've got it all to ourselves on this edition of Fisherman's Digest. Welcome to Houghton Lake. We are gearing up for a gorgeous day of fishing out on Michigan's largest inland lake. Today, John will be joined by friend and angling aficionado John Rieger, who knows these waters well. We start the day with a quick launch and a short run to find what we hope will be the perfect starting position to set up shop. Our target today? That's a good question. Let's call it anything that bites. Here on Houghton Lake, there's a wide variety of species lurking below the surface. It's one of those spots that until your rod pops, you just don't know what you're going to get.
There's a fish. Oh, it's a bass. Okay, we'll take a bass. It's a nice one. Yeah. Yeah. Nice way to start the day. Hey guys, welcome to Houghton Lake, Michigan. John Rieger here with John Bergsma and Fisherman's Digest. First fish of the day. We're gonna show you a mixed bag today. Probably gonna catch pike, bass, walleye, maybe even crappie or perch. Stay tuned here from Houghton Lake, Michigan on Fisherman's Digest. So guys, first fish of the day, we might as well just show you how we're gonna be fishing today. This is a little number 5 boogie shad, Walleye Nation creation. This is a catch everything bait. Literally, you put it out there, John, right? It'll catch everything.
Perch, crappie, rock bass, pike, walleye, everything.
That's called Gold Digger, and we also got antifreeze out. Those two colors are probably the best two colors. We'll get this nice bass back in the water. And if you wonder why, I'm a little excited. No matter what I catch here on Houghton Lake, I'm not upset because this is a mixed bag lake. You can't worry about whether you catch what species you're catching. You just gotta love fishing, get out there fishing. This is a kid's lake for sure, because you'll catch everything. So there's fish in there. See this point, this underwater point that sticks out on my unit? We're sliding right by on the deep side of it, and there's all kinds of fish in the area. So we're using our Kraken trolling motor with a key fob because we're working the back of the boat. But the key is to know where you're at in relationship to the structure. Use your mapping chip to get you going in the right direction. And once you're going in the right direction, you can just level off, slide along. These are weed stalks, and that's why we're short lining these today. We only got them out in the 20s, 25 to 35 maximum. And that's gonna be the fish catching scenario today. Working the edges of structure where drop-offs meet shallow water and weeds. Now we got a little close, so we had a few weed stalks. We push out to deeper water, the water cleans up, and then that's where we're catching the fish. There's a fish.
Here, hand me this hole.
Fish on. I had some coordinates from last year. Nice fish, jumping back there.
Smallmouth.
Smallmouth. Nice. Well, there's species number, oh no, it's a
largemouth. Looks like
It
a
is,
smallmouth
it's,
in the
boy, he was all spotted, funky.
Yeah, the colors of them.
You can see the way they hit that bait. We'll let John get back in his spot, but boy, they T-bone those baits. Look at that. Lots of fun. Awesome. There's a fish. Fish on. Acting like a perch or a crappie. It's actually acting walleye-ish, Johnny. Oh yeah.
Nice walleye.
It's acting walleye-ish. See, here's the key. When you're fishing with Rieger, just hand him the remote control because he's way better at steering than me.
I've been up in Bergsma, weed land all day.
I love it. I love it. And you can see right now it seems like, John, they want that little gold digger. He T-boned that one too again. Nice keeper walleye.
They're under the net.
Yeah. Using my little Ego pliers. Now these are 2 years old. I throw them on the deck like that in the rain. Doesn't matter what. You saw how they worked. Best little pliers on the market. Pliers drive you nuts or they're your best friend. We'll throw this on the board just to be sure, but I'm very confident that he's legal. Nice fish. Nice fish for walleye number 1. We even had water in the live well in anticipation. Good job, John.
Thanks.
Awesome. And that board just was, it wasn't like, flying back. You gotta watch your boards. That's the one good thing. These offshore boards are really, we're not using tattle flags today because I was just out salmon fishing the other day and didn't get home in time to reload my boat. But these boards are sensitive enough that you can just see that little tail flick and it'll jerk back and pull back just intermittently like that. That's all you need to know, and boom, you're on it. And so what John's talking about is Brett will show you, you can see where the tops of those weeds are, about 6 feet. And so what you want to do is you want to just find that magical number where your crankbait is not really encountering the majority of the weeds so that you can fish clean for much of the time, but still be close enough to them, because what these walleye will do is they'll settle down. Bass, northerns, crappie, all these fish are going to settle down right into the top of the weeds, not all the way at the bottom. They're just going to let themselves down so that the weeds, just a little over their heads, and that way they can just dart up and grab the prey when it goes by. So when this little Walleye Nation Creation boogie shad goes fluttering by them all sexy in that, boom, they just jump up and grab it. And that's exactly what 3 of them have done already. See him down there? Yeah, right species. Oh, we got another one on right there, doubled up. I think he's small, but we'll check. I reeled these boards in. Yeah, he's 13. Future of the fishery, but I think this one is a keeper. And I've reeled these boards in, 8-10 times today to check them. And John's working remotely today, but he's gracious enough to be out here helping. But John works for Phil's Towing. So if you're up here in the central Michigan area, around the Houghton Lake area, Phil's a great guy and lends John to us and lets him answer the phones in my boat to help us out while we make these great shows. So thank you to Phil's Towing. If you need a tow up here in central Michigan, make sure you look them up. But this feels like a nice fish. You don't want to horse these fish. You don't know how they're hooked. You might have T-boned it, but he might have one little barb in, and he's right there, and I'm going to lift him up to John. Yep, just like that. He's off in the net. And that's why you don't horse him, and that's a beautiful keeper, isn't it, John?
Definitely.
For Houghton Lake, that's a 17, 18-inch fish. Boy, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, them, especially with all the weeds, the nice 16-incher. Definitely with all the weeds, the fish are laying in there, and when the lure comes by, they just hurry up and swipe at it real fast. So a lot of times you don't get a great hook set on them. So
exactly,
definitely got to reel them slow because you never know where they're gonna be hooked.
Exactly. I think we put one out 28, and I think John's already struck gold. I'm right. We had a fish.
Hand lining that one.
Well, that's almost a keeper.
You want it or no?
Sure. We eat everything. I see what's happening. Fish on.
Don't get off.
Well, maybe they want meat, huh?
Changed color too.
Oh, did you? Yeah, more goldish.
Yeah, it's only like the 10th one I've had on. Nice walleye.
Nice walleye. Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that one.
Don't you dare do that.
Of course. You might be a believer in my rod and reel I bought, eh?
Starting to become accustomed to it.
Great job, John. Look at that. I'll let you show that one off. That's awesome.
A lot of people don't do it, but if you get the right speed in between, like running 1.5, 1.7, I mean, it's still a little fast for harnesses, but holding the rod in your hand and letting it free fall back and bringing it back and forth definitely makes them come up and chase it and grab it. And I've been doing it for years since I was a kid. And
might have a fish.
yeah,
Yeah.
What a really, the walleye.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a nice one. He's barely hooked and in the boat. And the
hook again.
Out of the net. There you see it. Crankbait in deep water. Another beautiful Houghton Lake walleye. Good job, Johnny.
Thank you.
So we got a whole bunch going on here. As you can see, now we're open water trolling. We're out in 12, 13 feet of water. And just 2 days ago, I was up on Lake Huron salmon fishing with downriggers and everything. So in this setup, we want these back. We had them way up here for salmon fishing. Now we've got them in the back 1/3. Why? Because I flatline troll. When we get a fish on, we need something. We've got 2 handheld rods. These are Lew's 7.2 medium extra fast rods. Perfect for what John's doing right there, which is just sweeping a spinner rig and crawler and just pumping it. He's got about what, 3/8 a half ounce weight on there, John? 3/8 ounce weight, and it's a bullet weight. Oh, and he looked like he almost had a hit there. And you see, when I get hooked up, he can just peg that rod right here and keep fishing. And of course, our 2 board rods are out there. That's our Trax system and how we've modified it. We're fishing right here with the Akuma line counters, just the number 20s. We're using Walleye Nation Creation crankbaits, number 5 boogie shads. And today it's been, without question, the gold digger. It's caught every single crankbait fish. That's, 3 of the 6 fish we've got. John's caught 3 on the handheld spinner. And here's a good example of the gold digger version of a spinner blade. Same idea, a red nose and a gold body. And then just some nice colorful beads on there. Now this is a single hook rig for leech fishing. John's been catching them today on the crawler harness and just rod in hand. So working through the rods, rod in hand, me clearing a lot of rods in the back, the gold diggers producing fish, the rod in hand producing fish, and adjusting and modifying our boat and using our Garmin autopilot to be able to just put together a good presentation that catches lots of fish. Yeah. We're playing around the back of the boat. John's messing around with phone calls. I'm tying new baits on. And he gets, we're hoping it's a walleye. It's fighting like it.
Nice walleye.
Nice walleye. Keep him down. Keep your chip down, Johnny. I see him. That right there, John said he wanted, and that spinner came out. He wanted a deep hoop ego like this for that reason right there.
So it don't flop out of the net.
So it don't flop out of the net. Johnny, I'm gonna let you hold that because that is an awesome fish. We just turned away from the weeds. Boom. That spinner has produced the 2 biggest fish now.
Yep.
I'll open that for you. Gotcha. Beautiful. I love it.
I got one on.
Fish on. You and that crazy lure. You've been saving me now. Well, John started slow. Another good one. So
Okay.
guys, while John unhooks this, if you mix a mix of Walleye Nation Creation baits, and they got some pretty good colors, don't they, John?
Yes, I do.
In the spinner harnesses, look at the quality of fish we're getting. I mean, a limit of walleye like that in Houghton Lake is an astronomical day, correct?
Yes.
As I'm talking, and Brett will show you this shoreline, this is a really, really awesome cottage lake. I mean, it's Michigan's largest inland lake. And again, multi-species mecca. Here in the springtime, you catch crappie, walleye, bluegill. You catch everything year round. But what's really cool about this place is that you can literally plan trips here year round for target species, and the ice fishing here is fantastic.
Yeah, you get us out of the way.
It's a big one, but wow.
Nice one. On a crankbait.
Look at the size of that sunfish. And to be honest, John, that's not an overly massive one. They
No,
catch
that's
lots
an
of them.
average size
An
one,
average
yeah.
size, pan holding size sunfish. Awesome, awesome fish for species number 5.
If anybody, there's another
Fish.
one.
There's another fish.
This should be up too high.
I mean, 7 keeper walleye if we get this in on Houghton Lake. I mean, to be honest, that's a special day. This is a heavily, heavily pressured lake, isn't it, John?
Very heavily pressured.
Yep. Tons of recreational boaters, and to be able to get keepers.
Oh, he's still there.
Yep, he's there. Keep him coming.
I just wheel him in quick before he decides to do something.
Yep, there's another one. You guys can see just the way that gold digger is right there. Ain't no making that up. There it is. Right in the mouth. Another keeper fish, John.
You'll be eating good tonight.
Beautiful group of walleyes in there. Beautiful sunfish that we caught earlier. Look at that. That's bigger than my hand. And a nice perch. I tell you what, Houghton Lake's underrated.
Finding and sharing spots like this is what Fisherman's Digest is all about. The greater Houghton Lake area, which also includes Higgins and St. Helen Lakes, has been a premier year-round fishing destination for 100 years. Pike, bass, walleye, crappie, perch, even giant lake trout can all be caught here. The whole area is a sportsman's paradise and a fantastic family vacation destination. You'll find plenty of ATV trails and hiking opportunities throughout the area, making the Houghton Lake region one of the most diverse in the state for outdoor enthusiasts who enjoy spending time both on and off the water.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us here today. Thanks to John Rieger for helping us out as always here on Lakes Cadillac and Mitchell, and also at Houghton Lake. Come out and enjoy the beautiful area here, Roscommon County and the greater Houghton Lake area. We'll see you again next week on Fisherman's Digest. All right.